Far beyond the edges of known space, the war zone stretched like a dark scar across the stars. Fleets of alien ships moved in chaotic patterns, each faction fighting for control of a planet that shimmered with untapped energy. The planet, named Veyron 9, was rich in crystals that could power starships for centuries. It had become the prize that every alien empire wanted, and every fleet had a reason to kill for it. Admirals barked orders in alien tongues. Weapons flared and missiles streaked through the void. The war zone was alive with destruction, yet each alien commander believed their fleet was supreme. None suspected that a new player, unseen and unknown, was about to arrive. Far away, hidden in a remote sector outside even the outermost patrols, the human battle vessel waited. Its sleek hull reflected the faint glow of nearby stars. Unlike the clumsy, bulky ships of many alien species, the human vessel moved with purpose. It had no need for numbers. It relied on advanced technology, strategy, and the resourcefulness of its crew. Inside, Captain Ilara Vaughn walked the bridge, her eyes scanning the tactical displays. She was calm, even as her crew prepared for their first encounter with an alien war zone. The humans were few, but each one had been trained for a lifetime to handle the impossible. Engineers, tacticians, pilots, humans excelled at improvising. That had always been their greatest strength. Lieutenant Kai Mercer, the ship's tactical officer, looked up from his console. "Captain," he said, voice steady but edged with excitement, "we are approaching the coordinates. Sensors show multiple hostile fleets converging on Veyron 9. Our cloaking systems are ready, but the area is dense with patrols." Ilara nodded. "Good. Keep us quiet. We don't want to be seen yet. Let them think this is just another alien skirmish." A soft hum vibrated through the bridge. The ship's engines were unlike any the aliens had ever seen, silent, efficient, capable of bursts that could outmaneuver the largest battleships in the sector. As the crew prepared, there was a shared sense of anticipation. Humans had never fought in this part of the galaxy before, and the crew knew that their first encounter could decide whether they would be respected or destroyed. The humans had orders. They were not there to conquer. They were there to observe, protect, and, if necessary, eliminate threats that could escalate beyond control. It was a mission that carried the weight of Earth's reputation in a galaxy that didn't yet know humans existed. The ship moved like a shadow, slipping between alien patrols. In the war zone, alien commanders were focused on their rivals. They noticed nothing unusual. A small fleet was fighting another, missiles streaking, shields flashing. In their arrogance, they assumed this was normal. They did not suspect the prize humans. On the bridge, Kai watched the tactical display. Sensors indicate heavy activity around Veyron 9's northern sector. That's where the main supply convoys are concentrated. Ilara leaned over the display, studying the patterns. "Northern sector? Good. That's where we will make our first impression. I want them to know humans are here, but not until it counts." The alien fleets continued their battles, firing in every direction, their tactics predictable. They fought as if each engagement were separate, without considering the consequences of the wider war zone. Humans, on the other hand, thought in patterns and probabilities. They looked at the battlefield as a single, moving puzzle. A sudden alert flashed across the bridge. "Proximity sensor spike!" Kai shouted. Ilara's eyes narrowed. "Enemy patrol! Cloak immediately!" The human ship shimmered, folding light around itself. Alien sensors scanned the area, detecting nothing. The patrol moved past, unaware of the invisible human warship gliding silently in the shadows. The crew exhaled in relief. "Status?" Ilara asked. "All clear, Captain. We are in position," Kai replied. Ilara took a deep breath. "Prepare for initial reconnaissance. Launch drones. Let's see exactly what we're dealing with." Tiny probes shot into the war zone, slipping past the fighting fleets. They returned images and readings almost instantly. Alien fleets were numerous, but disorganized. Supply lines were vulnerable. Command ships were poorly protected compared to the smaller attack craft. And most importantly, the aliens underestimated any opponent outside their own species. Ilara smiled. Perfect. They won't know what hit them. Hours passed as the humans observed. The war zone was a chaotic storm of energy blasts, exploding hulls, and damaged ships drifting in silence. Humans had never fought here before, but they were fast learners. Every observation, every scan was analyzed, stored, and used to plan the next move. Finally, the captain gave the order. All weapon systems online, shield modulation at full. This is the moment, crew. Let's make history. The human battle vessel emerged from hiding. Its hull gleamed in the starlight as it moved into the northern sector. Alien ships detected it immediately, but it was too late to understand what they were seeing. One moment, the battlefield was chaotic but ordinary. The next, a new presence appeared. Alien sensors buzzed with confusion. "Unknown vessel detected," a panicked officer yelled. "Class and origin?" another asked. "Unknown," came the reply. "Its energy signature does not match any known species. It is not like us." Whispers of fear spread among the alien fleets. Rumors circulated rapidly through communications channels. "A human ship! A human ship has entered the war zone!" The humans did not attack immediately. They watched, calculated, and waited for the perfect moment. Then, with precision that shocked the alien commanders, they struck. Missiles that seemed to appear from nowhere hit enemy supply ships. Energy beams cut through armored cruisers, bypassing shields that were supposed to be invincible. Alien ships, scattered, unsure how to respond to tactics they had never imagined. On the bridge, the crew worked in perfect synchronization. "Captain, cruiser to the north is preparing countermeasures," Kai said. Ilara nodded. "Allow them. We will adapt." That's the point. True to her words, the human vessel twisted and turned with unnatural speed. It dodged incoming fire, using the enemy's own attacks against them. Explosions lit up the void as alien ships tried desperately to regroup, but humans were always one step ahead. The alien commanders were stunned. "It cannot be. It's faster than our ships. More intelligent. More ruthless." Some fled in terror. Others tried to fight only to find themselves isolated, picked off one by one. Within hours, the humans had reshaped the battlefield. Their presence alone forced alien fleets to rethink their strategy. Yet the humans were not merciless. They avoided unnecessary destruction. Damaged ships were disabled, not destroyed, unless they posed an immediate threat. Their tactics combined efficiency with a strange sense of morality the aliens could not comprehend. By the time the first night passed, the humans had established a foothold in the northern sector. Their reputation began to spread, whispered across communications channels. "The human ship. It is unstoppable. The human ship. It cannot be predicted." Ilara looked at the war zone, her face calm. "This is only the beginning," she said softly. Kai glanced at her. "Do you think they'll surrender?" Ilara shook her head. "No, they never do. But they will learn respect and fear. That is enough for now." In the distance, the planet Veyron Na glimmered with untapped power. The humans had arrived quietly, invisibly, and now they had made their presence known. The war zone would never be the same again. And far beyond the battlefield, humans across hidden sectors watched and waited. The galaxy had not yet seen the full extent of what humanity could do, but soon it would. The warning echoed through alien channels again and again. A human battle vessel has entered the war zone. For the first time in decades, the aliens, Realize that war might not be about numbers, strength, or territory. It could be about humans. Unpredictable, clever, relentless humans. The war zone had changed. The alien fleets, once confident and brutal, now moved with uncertainty. Reports of the human battle vessels spread quickly, creating ripples of fear and confusion. Commanders who had never doubted their own superiority began questioning their strategies. One thing was certain: the humans were unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Captain Ilara Vaughn stood on the bridge, watching the tactical display. Each dot on the screen represented a ship, some allies, most enemies. The northern sector, where humans had first appeared, was now a battlefield, but one carefully controlled. Humans did not rush blindly. They studied, adapted, and struck only. When it mattered, Lieutenant Kai Mercer tapped a sequence on his console. "Captain, enemy supply convoys are regrouping near the asteroid belt. They're heavily armed but slow. This is our chance to strike decisively." Ilara nodded. "Prepare the attack drones. This will show them humans do not wait for weakness. We create it." Tiny drones emerged from the human ship, invisible to most alien sensors. They zipped through the void, weaving between asteroid fragments, observing and marking targets. Every alien ship, every turret, every weak point was logged instantly. Humans fought with both brains and firepower, a combination that alien fleets had never faced. The first strike began with precision. Drones disabled several cruisers' engines, leaving them drifting and vulnerable. Human missiles followed, hitting vital systems without destroying more than necessary. Alien commanders, who relied on sheer numbers, watched helplessly as small groups of ships fell one by one. "Captain," Kai said, "they are attempting to flank us with frigates from the south. They think they can surprise us." Ilara smiled faintly. "Let them try. We'll be ready." The alien frigates approached, confident in their speed. But the human vessel did not wait. It fired a series of adaptive energy pulses, each one calculated, to exploit the aliens' shield weaknesses. Shields overloaded, hulls cracked, and engines failed. The frigates scattered, some destroyed, others fleeing in panic. On the alien command bridge, panic spread. "What is this vessel?" one officer demanded. "Our weapons cannot penetrate its defenses. Our attacks are ineffective." The admiral, his multi-limbed form trembling, shouted, "Call reinforcements! Call everything we have!" But it was already too late. Humans did not fight like the aliens. They did not rely on overwhelming numbers. They used skill, tactics, and unpredictability. One vessel could dismantle an entire fleet if commanded correctly. Ilara issued the next order. "Target the command ships, use drone-guided strikes, minimize collateral damage to the planet. Let them know we are here, not just for war, but for control." As humans struck, alien fleets tried to respond. They launched volleys of missiles and beams, hoping to overwhelm the human shields. For a moment, the bridge trembled with energy feedback, but the humans had anticipated this. Shields adapted, weapons fired in calculated sequences, and countermeasures neutralized the attacks almost effortlessly. Kai watched the display, awe mixed with adrenaline. "They're retreating, Captain. Their formations are collapsing." Ilara nodded. "Good. But we must not underestimate them. They will regroup. Humans fight with caution as well as skill." In the chaos of the war zone, alien pilots began whispering rumors. "The human ship, it appears from nowhere and destroys us without hesitation. It does not act like other species." "Reports say it can predict attacks before they happen," another pilot added nervously. "It is not just strong, it is intelligent." The humans, meanwhile, focused on one goal at a time. They secured control of the asteroid belt, disabling supply convoys and creating a buffer zone around Veyron 9. They moved with discipline, unlike alien fleets, which were often chaotic, reckless, and guided by arrogance rather than logic. Hours passed. Alien reinforcements arrived, massive cruisers with heavily armed frigates in tow. They believed that sheer firepower could overwhelm the humans. But humans had already studied their movements and weaknesses. Ilara gave the order. Engage with full strategy. Coordinate drones and weapons. Use the environment, the asteroids, the debris to our advantage. Force them to fight on our terms. The battle was intense. Energy beams cut through the darkness. Missiles streaked in brilliant trails, and ships twisted and dodged like living things. The human vessel, faster and more agile than any alien ship, moved like a predator among prey. For every attack the aliens launched, humans countered in ways that seemed impossible. A cruiser tried to ram the human vessel. In response, the human ship executed a sudden burst maneuver, twisting at impossible angles. The cruiser overshot its target and collided with its own fleet, causing a chain reaction that destroyed multiple ships. Alien commanders could only watch in horror as their forces self-destructed through human ingenuity. Kai breathed heavily. "Captain, they've never seen anything like this. Our drones are neutralizing their weapon systems faster than they can repair them." Ilara's calm voice carried over the bridge. "This is the edge of fear, Kai. They are learning that humans cannot be predicted, and once they realize that, their morale will break. Some aliens tried diplomacy. Hailing signals lit up the human vessel, offering ceasefires, negotiations, even surrender." Ilara studied the messages. "They think they can negotiate?" she murmured. Kai shrugged. "They don't understand us. They think we fight like they do." Ilara considered the options. Humans could strike again, ensuring total control over the northern sector. Or they could hold, letting the aliens reconsider their strategy while maintaining the moral high ground. She chose the latter. "Prepare a demonstration," she said. "We will disable their ships, but we will not destroy them. Let them see the consequences of underestimating humanity." The humans executed the plan flawlessly. Alien ships found themselves powerless against the human tactics. Weapons failed, shields went offline, engines sputtered. Some ships were left, drifting, unable to continue the fight. Yet humans did not fire to destroy. They only disabled. For the first time, alien pilots felt fear. They whispered among themselves, panic spreading. The war zone that once seemed chaotic was now ruled by a single, unstoppable presence. In the middle of the battle, a human engineer shouted, "Captain, sensors are picking up new alien reinforcements from the far side. They're faster and more numerous." Ilara did not flinch. "Then we adapt. Humans survive because we adapt. Calculate their approach and plan our counter." Within moments, humans had mapped the new threat. Drones swarmed, ahead marking the reinforcements' weak points. Shields were adjusted, weapons recalibrated, and the human vessel moved with lightning precision. The aliens had expected brute force. They received strategy and intellect. The reinforcements attacked. Energy beams tore through the void. Missiles screamed toward the human ship, but humans countered every move. Explosions erupted across the enemy formation as targeted strikes disabled engines, weapons, and communication arrays. The reinforcements faltered, retreating in confusion and fear. Kai shook his head. "Captain, this is unbelievable. We've never faced anything like them, and they are falling apart already." Ilara's eyes were steady, watching the tactical display. "It's never about their strength, Kai. It's about how they fight. And humans fight differently." The northern sector was now under human control, and alien morale had dropped sharply. Commanders debated whether to retreat entirely or risk further losses. The message across their communications channels was clear. Humans were here. Humans were deadly. And humans were unlike any threat they had ever known. As night fell over the war zone, Ilara looked out at the distant planet, shimmering softly in the void. Veyron had not been conquered, but the humans had made their presence known. One ship with a small crew had changed the balance of power. Kai leaned over the console. Captain, they'll remember this. They'll fear us. Ilara nodded. They should. But fear alone is not enough. Respect, intelligence, strategy, that is how humans survive. That is how we will protect what is ours and what must be protected. In the distance, alien pilots whispered of the human battle vessel. They could not predict its moves, could not match its tactics, and could not understand its morality. One phrase spread across the war zone like wildfire. A human battle vessel has entered the war zone. The warning echoed through every fleet, every channel, every command post. The galaxy, for the first time, understood that humans were not ordinary. They were dangerous, and they were here to stay. The human vessel glided silently through the battlefield, not victorious yet, but unstoppable in its potential. The crew had learned much in their first battle. The aliens had learned even more, and they would never forget it. Ilara's final words of the day, spoken quietly to the crew, carried weight. This is only the beginning. The galaxy thinks it knows war, but it does not know humans. The battle had shifted. The aliens were no longer confident. The humans had shown that skill, precision, and strategy could outweigh numbers and size. Yet Captain Ilara Vaughn knew this was only the beginning. The war zone was vast and alien. Fleets still controlled much of it. On the bridge, Ilara studied the holographic display. Drones scouted ahead, mapping enemy positions with perfect clarity. We know their numbers, their formations, and their weaknesses, she said. Now, it's time to see how far they can be pushed. Lieutenant Kai Mercer's fingers danced over the console. Captain, I'm detecting new alien cruisers moving into the northern sector. They've learned from the last encounter. They're cautious now, but they're still predictable. Ilara smiled. Predictable is good. Humans thrive on predictability. We can plan for it, adapt, and overcome. Prepare weapon systems and adaptive shields. I want every system ready. The human vessel moved silently through the void. The aliens, aware of its presence, tried to form defensive lines, but the humans were already analyzing patterns, anticipating every move. Humans did not attack blindly, they struck with precision. One well-placed volley could disable a cruiser. Another could scatter an entire formation. Captain, Kai said, their frigates are trying to flank us again, but I've calculated their trajectory. We can use the asteroid field to our advantage. Ilara nodded. Excellent. Set up the traps. Let them come. As the alien ships entered the asteroid field, the humans activated cloaked drones. Missiles that seemed to appear from nowhere struck engines and weapon systems. Frustration and panic spread across the enemy fleet. The aliens had expected humans to attack head-on, but humans fought differently. They used the environment, timing, and tactics the aliens could not understand. One alien cruiser, attempting to ram the human vessel, was trapped between two asteroids, its engines overloaded in a desperate attempt to escape. Human drones disabled its weapons, leaving it helpless. The aliens panicked. Some attempted to retreat, only to find themselves surrounded by invisible drones. On the bridge, Ilara's calm voice cut through the tension. They will learn that humans do not fight like them. Humans adapt. Humans survive. And humans will win if they underestimate us. Kai nodded. Captain, their command ships are attempting a coordinated counterattack. They are sending reinforcements from the southern sector. Ilara's eyes narrowed. Good. That will allow us to show them what humans are capable of when fully aware of the threat. Prepare the adaptive energy cannons, cloak drones for distraction. This will be our demonstration. The human vessel moved like a predator. Energy beams fired in precise sequences, hitting enemy shields at weak points. Missiles guided by drones struck engines, weapons, and communication arrays. The alien fleets struggled to respond. Their formations faltered, and panic spread quickly. On one alien command bridge, an officer shouted, "It is impossible! Their shields adapt faster than our attacks. Their weapons strike where we are weakest. How do we fight them?" The admiral's multi-limbed form trembled with anger. "Call all fleets! Overwhelm them with numbers! Crush this human vessel!" But humans were already prepared. The human ship twisted and dodged at speeds the aliens could not match. Every attack was countered, every strategy anticipated. Humans were not only stronger, they were smarter, faster, and unpredictable. Kai watched the display, awe written across his face. "Captain, we're outnumbered at least 10-1, but they can't touch us." Ilara's voice was calm. "Numbers don't matter if you know how to fight. Keep tracking their movements. Use the environment. Force them into mistakes." Alien pilots tried desperate maneuvers. Some collided with each other in confusion. Some fired blindly, only to overload their own weapons. Their command systems struggled to coordinate, failing against the humans' clever tactics. The northern sector was becoming a graveyard for alien ships. Human drones disabled ships, energy beams struck critical systems, and adaptive shields kept the human vessel safe. Every move was calculated, every strike precise. The humans were teaching the aliens a lesson they would never forget. "Captain," Kai said, "I'm picking up communication signals. Some alien factions are requesting ceasefire. They want to negotiate." Ilara considered the messages. "They don't understand humans yet. Ceasefire is not our goal. We need to show them strength and intelligence. Prepare a controlled strike that disables without destroying. Make them see that humans can dominate without unnecessary bloodshed." The controlled strike began. Alien cruisers found themselves paralyzed, engines failing, weapons offline, communication jammed. Humans had disabled them without unnecessary destruction. Alien fleets panicked, unsure whether to flee or fight. Whispers spread through the war zone. Pilots and commanders alike repeated the same fearful words. "A human battle vessel. It cannot be stopped. It is not like us." Ilara's eyes stayed on the display. "We are not done yet," she said softly. "We will push them further. They need to understand humans are not to be underestimated." In the midst of battle, the human vessel's sensors detected something unexpected. A massive alien warship, far larger and more advanced than any seen before, was approaching. It moved with authority, commanding fleets with brutal efficiency. The humans had never faced a ship like this. Kai's voice was tense. "Captain, that ship is unlike any other. It's massive. It could destroy us if we engage directly." Ilara nodded slowly. "Then we will not engage directly. Humans win by thinking ahead, by using strategy. Calculate its path, weaknesses, and the environment. We will turn this threat into our advantage." The alien warship reached the northern sector, its presence causing nearby fleets to pause. It fired a powerful energy beam at the human vessel, but humans were ready. Adaptive shields absorbed the attack, dispersing the energy harmlessly. Kai's eyes widened. "Captain, it's firing again and again. Nothing is working. They are learning from us." Ilara smiled faintly. "Good. That is exactly what we want. Humans fight differently. We adapt. We teach our enemies lessons they cannot ignore." Humans launched a series of drones, small but highly advanced. They swarmed around the massive warship, targeting weak points with precision. Missiles followed, striking where the shields were thin. Energy pulses disrupted the enemy systems. The alien warship faltered, engines sputtering, weapons offline. On the alien bridge, panic spread like wildfire. "Impossible!" the officer screamed. "This vessel, it is not just strong, it is intelligent!" The admiral's limbs shook. We must retreat. Do not engage further. Withdraw or face total destruction. The alien fleets began a chaotic retreat. Ships collided, weapons fired blindly, and formations collapsed. Humans had turned the tide. One vessel, with a small crew, had proven that skill, strategy, and intelligence could overcome overwhelming odds. Alara watched the retreating fleets. This is what humans do, Kai. We adapt, we overcome, and we survive. They underestimated us, and now they must respect us. Kai nodded. Captain, we've done it. The northern sector is under our control. The aliens are scared. They've never seen anything like us. Ilara's gaze stayed on the holographic display. This is only the beginning. Humans are here, and the galaxy will remember our name. As the humans stabilized the northern sector, scouts detected new alien fleets regrouping. They were larger, more cautious, but still unprepared for the unpredictability of humans. Captain, Kai said, they're planning something. Reinforcements from multiple sectors are heading this way. They've learned from their mistakes. Ilara's expression remained calm. Good. Let them come. Humans are not afraid of learning. We thrive on challenges. Prepare the ship. This will be another test, and we will pass it as we always do. In the darkness of space, the human battle vessel glided silently, a shadow moving among chaos. The aliens had seen power, speed, and precision. But humans had also shown something else: intelligence, adaptability, and the courage to act when others faltered. The warning spread through every alien channel, more urgent than ever. A human battle vessel has entered the war zone. It is unlike anything we know. The humans had revealed their full advantage. They were not just stronger or faster, they were smarter, more adaptable, and capable of using the environment, tactics, and technology in ways no alien had ever imagined. Alara looked at the distant planet Veyron 9, shimmering softly. We've shown them the first lesson, she said. Humans fight differently, humans survive, and humans will never be forgotten. The war zone, once chaotic and dominated by arrogance, had changed forever. The humans had not conquered. It was too early for that. But they had shown that one human battle vessel could turn the tide of an entire war, leaving fear and awe in its wake. The northern sector of Veyron 9 had become a graveyard for alien ships. The humans had shown that skill, strategy, and adaptability could defeat numbers and size. Yet Captain Ilara Vaughn knew that the war was far from over. Alien fleets still controlled parts of the system, and their leaders would not forget the lesson the humans had delivered. On the bridge, Ilara studied the tactical display. Multiple fleets were converging from the eastern and southern sectors, attempting to reclaim lost territory. They think numbers can overwhelm us, she said quietly. Let's prove them wrong again. Lieutenant Kai Mercer adjusted the holographic display. Captain, their reinforcements are stronger than the last wave. Cruisers, frigates, even command ships. They are organized, but still predictable if we analyze their patterns. Alara nodded. Good. Humans fight with intelligence, not just firepower. Prepare the adaptive shields and weapon systems. This will be a demonstration they will never forget. The human battle vessel glided silently toward the converging fleets. Sensors picked up every ship, every weapon, every movement. Humans did not rely on brute force alone. They studied, anticipated, and struck where the enemy was weakest. As the alien fleets approached, their commanders whispered anxiously, "The humans, they are here again. Their ship is not like any we have seen. We must stop them before they destroy everything." The humans waited. Timing was everything. The moment the aliens entered the asteroid-rich sector, the human vessel acted. Cloaked drones launched in multiple directions, guiding missiles and energy pulses toward critical systems. Engines overloaded, shields collapsed, and communication lines failed. One alien frigate attempted to ram the human ship, but it was too slow. The humans had predicted its path and diverted it with a burst of energy that pushed it into the asteroid field. It collided with a massive rock, shattering completely. The remaining fleet faltered, unsure how to respond. Kai shook his head in disbelief. "Captain, they cannot predict us. Every move we make counters their attack." Ilara's calm voice carried over the bridge. "Humans adapt, Kai. That is why we survive." The battle intensified. Energy beams tore through the darkness, missiles screamed past, and the human vessel twisted and dodged with unnatural precision. Drones guided every strike, striking at weak points, disabling ships without destroying more than necessary. Humans fought with both intelligence and restraint, a combination the aliens could not understand. On an alien command bridge, panic spread. "It cannot be! Their ship is not just strong, it is intelligent. Every attack we make is countered. Before it reaches them!" The Admiral's multi-limbed form shook with fury. "Call all fleets. Bring everything. Crush this vessel. Do not fail." But humans were ready. The human vessel moved through the battlefield like a predator. Missiles struck engines, energy pulses disabled weapons, and drones intercepted every attack. Alien formations collapsed, and morale plummeted. Commanders could only watch in disbelief as their forces were systematically disabled. "Captain," Kai said, "the Eastern Fleet is attempting a surprise flank. They are counting on speed to catch us off guard." Ilara smiled faintly. "Good. Let them try. Humans are strongest when the enemy makes mistakes." The Eastern Fleet advanced, thinking they had found an opening, but humans had anticipated it. Drones created false signatures, drawing the alien ships into a trap. Adaptive energy cannons struck, disabling weapons and engines. Frigates collided with each other in confusion. The flank failed completely. In the southern sector, alien command ships attempted to organize a counterattack. Yet humans had already studied their patterns. Every move the aliens made was predicted and countered. One by one, command ships were disabled, their fleets left in disarray. Kai leaned over his console. "Captain, we are dominating the war zone. Their fleets are collapsing." Ilara's expression remained calm. "Domination is not enough. We must show them humans are unstoppable without unnecessary destruction. Precision, control, strategy, that is what makes us different." The human vessel moved toward the planet itself, its massive hull reflecting the soft glow of Veyron 9. Humans did not wish to harm the planet. They were here to control the conflict, not destroy the prize. Yet the aliens were learning the hard way that the humans could achieve both control and victory with minimal loss. As the vessel reached orbit, human drones disabled orbital defense stations. Alien fleets attempting to intervene were intercepted, their attacks neutralized with perfect timing. The humans had turned the tide completely. One ship, with a small but skilled crew, had shattered the morale and organization of multiple alien factions. On the bridge, Ilara studied the holographic map. Entire sectors were now under human influence. Supply lines were cut, communication networks disrupted, and alien fleets were in retreat. She turned to her crew. "This is what humans do, Kai. We fight smarter, we adapt, and we survive. And now they know the cost of underestimating us." Kai nodded. "Captain, they're sending desperate messages. Some are requesting ceasefire. Others are retreating completely. They've never faced anything like this." Ilara considered the messages. "Let them come. Humans will not destroy unnecessarily, but they will teach lessons that cannot be forgotten. Prepare a demonstration. Disable key vessels to show them the consequences of defiance." The human vessel moved swiftly, drones striking precise targets. Engines failed, weapons went offline, and command signals were jammed. Alien fleets panicked further. Some ships fled the system entirely, abandoning their comrades. Others surrendered, realizing they could not win. On the alien command bridge, the Admiral slammed a fist against the console. "We cannot defeat them! How is this possible? Their ship, it is not just strong, it is perfect in battle." Meanwhile, humans were not idle. They scanned the remaining fleets for weaknesses, preparing for any counterattack. Every sensor reading, every movement, every signal was analyzed. Humans fought not with arrogance, but with discipline, intelligence, and relentless focus. Kai watched the tactical display, awe in his eyes. "Captain, we've never seen them respond like this. They are terrified. They know humans are different." Ilara nodded. "Different is our advantage. Humans do not fight blindly. We adapt, predict, and act with purpose. That is why we survive, and that is why we will win if necessary." As the sun rose over Veyron 9, the alien fleets had been forced into retreat. Entire sectors were under human control, yet the humans did not pursue wantonly. They had proven their strength, demonstrated their strategy, and left the aliens with a lasting impression. Humans were a force unlike any other. The war zone, once chaotic and unpredictable, had been transformed. Humans had turned the tide with intelligence, precision, and courage. The aliens had learned that one vessel, with a skilled crew and advanced technology, could dominate an entire battlefield. Ilara looked at the distant planet, her eyes calm. "This is only the beginning. The galaxy thinks it knows war, but it does not know humans." Kai leaned back in his chair. "Captain, they'll remember this forever. They'll fear us and respect us even if they won't admit it." Ilara smiled faintly. "That is enough for now. Humans do not seek needless destruction. We seek survival, strategy, and justice. But make no mistake, we will fight if threatened, and the galaxy will never underestimate us again." The warning spread through alien channels, now urgent and fearful. "A human battle vessel has entered the war zone. It is unlike anything we have seen. We cannot predict it. We cannot stop it." The humans had proven their strength, intelligence, and adaptability. They had not destroyed unnecessarily, yet they had gained complete control of the northern sector. Alien commanders scrambled to respond, realizing that the humans had introduced a new variable in war, one they could neither understand nor defeat with traditional tactics. Ilara watched the stars outside the vessel. Humans had changed the war zone forever. One ship, one crew had altered the balance of power. The aliens would not forget this day. The galaxy would not forget it. And in the quiet hum of the human battle vessel, the crew prepared for the next challenge. Humans had arrived in the war zone, and their presence had already reshaped the conflict. The northern sector was secure, but more battles lay ahead. More alien fleets would arrive. More challenges would test their skills. Yet humans were ready. They fought differently. They adapted. They survived. And the galaxy, for the first time, was beginning to understand that humans were not to be underestimated. The warning echoed once more, spreading fear and awe. "A human battle vessel has entered the war zone. Prepare for anything." The humans had turned the tide completely. The aliens had been forced to retreat, rethink, and respect a species they had never truly known. One vessel, guided by intelligence, discipline, and courage, had reshaped the balance of power. The war zone had become a nightmare for the alien fleets. The northern sector was now under human control, and word of the human battle vessels spread like wildfire. Every fleet, every pilot, every commander knew the warning. A human battle vessel has entered the war zone. It was no longer a rumor. It was a fact that changed everything. Captain Ilara Vaughn stood on the bridge, her eyes calm and focused. "Kai," she said, "we have done well so far, but we are not finished. The aliens will attempt to regroup. Some will retreat, others will strike back. Our task is to ensure that no attack can surprise us and that they understand the cost of defying humans." Lieutenant Kai Mercer nodded. Captain, sensors indicate multiple alien fleets moving from the eastern and southern sectors. They are large, organized, and heavily armed. They've learned from their mistakes, but they are still predictable in their patterns. Alara smiled faintly. Predictable is exactly what humans need. Prepare adaptive shields, weapon systems, and drones. This will be our final demonstration, one they will never forget. The human battle vessel glided forward, moving silently among the stars. Cloaked drones scouted ahead, mapping enemy formations and calculating weak points. Humans did not rely on numbers. They relied on intelligence, strategy, and the ability to adapt faster than the enemy could react. The alien fleets approached cautiously. Their commanders whispered in fear and frustration. We cannot fight them head-on. They anticipate every move. Their ship, it is unlike anything we have seen. One alien admiral shouted, "Concentrate fire! We must destroy this vessel or face total collapse." But humans had already anticipated this. The human vessel moved with unmatched speed, weaving among asteroids and debris. Adaptive shields deflected energy beams, and drones guided missiles toward enemy engines and weapons. Ships were disabled without unnecessary destruction. Chaos spread among the alien formations. Kai watched the tactical display. Captain, they're attempting a coordinated strike with 3 fleets converging at once. They believe sheer force will overwhelm us. Ilara's expression was calm. Good. Let them try. Humans excel when the enemy overestimates themselves. The alien fleets advanced, energy beams cutting through space, missiles streaking toward the human vessel. Humans countered each attack with precision. Drones intercepted missiles, adaptive shields absorbed energy, and counterstrikes disabled engines and weapons. Alien ships collided with each other in confusion, unable to match the humans' unpredictability. On an alien command bridge, panic spread like wildfire. It is impossible. Their ship, it moves faster than we can track. Our weapons fail. How do we fight them? The admiral's multiple limbs trembled with anger and fear. Withdraw! Retreat! Do not engage further! We cannot defeat them! Yet, humans did not need to destroy every ship. They had already proven their dominance. One well-placed strike could disable multiple vessels at once, forcing the enemy into retreat or surrender. Precision, strategy, and restraint were humans' greatest weapons. Alara turned to Kai. Prepare the final coordinated strike. Focus on command ships. Disable their leaders and let the rest see what happens to those who defy humans. The human vessel moved with lightning speed. Cloaked drones launched in perfect synchronization. Missiles struck engines. Energy pulses disabled weapons, and communication networks were jammed. Alien command ships faltered. Pilots lost coordination. Entire fleets were paralyzed, unable to continue the fight. The northern sector was fully under human control. Alien morale had collapsed completely. Some ships fled the system entirely. Others surrendered, realizing that the humans could strike anywhere, at any time, and with impossible precision. Kai shook his head in disbelief. Captain, they've never faced anything like this. Entire fleets are retreating or surrendering. They cannot comprehend us. Ilara nodded. That is human strength, Kai. We fight differently. We adapt, we survive, and we win when others cannot understand our methods. As the alien fleets scattered, the humans continued to secure the sector. Drones patrolled supply lines, energy pulses disabled remaining weapons, and adaptive shields ensured no surprise attacks could succeed. Humans did not destroy the sector. They controlled it. The aliens learned that resistance came with consequences, but destruction was not the goal. On the alien command bridge, the admiral's form trembled. We cannot continue. This human vessel, it is unstoppable. Our fleets are falling apart. We must retreat. Humans had changed the rules of engagement. One vessel, guided by intelligence, adaptability, and discipline, had reshaped the entire war zone. Alien fleets now faced a new reality. Humans were unpredictable, efficient, and deadly, yet restrained and intelligent. Alara turned to her crew. This is the lesson we deliver to the galaxy. Humans fight differently. We do not rely on numbers alone. We do not act recklessly. But if threatened, we are unstoppable. Kai smiled. Captain, the warning has spread to every sector. They are beginning to fear us and even respect us, though they won't admit it. Ilara's eyes were calm, gazing at the distant planet below. Fear and respect are enough. Humans do not need glory or conquest to demonstrate power. We survive, we adapt, and we protect what is ours. That is enough. As the alien fleets retreated from Veyron 9, whispers of the human vessels spread throughout the galaxy. Pilots, commanders, and entire factions repeated the same words in disbelief and awe. A human battle vessel. It cannot be predicted. It is not like us. The northern sector was secured. Alien supply lines were cut. Communication networks were disabled. Entire fleets had been paralyzed or forced into retreat. Humans had achieved the impossible. One vessel had dominated an entire war zone. Ilara studied the tactical display. This is not conquest. This is control through intelligence, strategy, and precision. We do not destroy unnecessarily, but we show the consequences of underestimating humans. Kai nodded. Captain, the galaxy will remember this day forever. They will never underestimate humans again. Ilara's voice was steady and calm. Let them remember. Let them fear, respect, and understand. Humans do not fight like any other species. That is our greatest strength. As the war zone quieted, the human battle vessel moved through space like a shadow among stars. Drones patrolled the sector, keeping watch over alien fleets and ensuring no surprise attacks could succeed. The humans had shown their power, intelligence, and adaptability. One ship had changed the balance of the conflict, leaving the aliens with a lasting lesson. Humans were a force unlike any other. Kai glanced at the display. Captain, there are reports from distant sectors. Alien fleets are now hesitant to engage anywhere humans might be. The presence of one vessel is reshaping their entire strategy. Ilara nodded. Exactly. Humans fight differently. We adapt, we survive, and we dominate when necessary. The galaxy will never be the same. Across communications channels, the warning echoed again and again. A human battle vessel has entered the war zone. It cannot be predicted. It cannot be stopped. Prepare for anything. The humans had achieved a decisive victory without unnecessary bloodshed. They had demonstrated that intelligence, precision, and adaptability could defeat brute force. Alien fleets now knew that any engagement with humans came at unimaginable risk. Ilara turned to her crew, pride in her eyes. This is what humans do. We do not fight recklessly. We do not rely on numbers alone. But when necessary, we act with speed, intelligence, and precision. That is what makes us different. That is what makes us strong. Kai smiled. Captain, we've changed the war zone forever. One vessel, one crew, and the galaxy will never forget. Ilara nodded, and this is only the beginning. Humans are here to survive, to protect, and to teach the galaxy a new way to fight. We are different. We are unpredictable, and we will not be ignored. The human battle vessel glided through the stars, silent, calm, and unstoppable. The aliens had learned their lesson, one that would echo across every system. Humans were not ordinary. They were intelligent, adaptive, and deadly when necessary. They fought differently, and that difference had changed the war zone forever. Veyron 9 shimmered below, secure in human control. The warning spread to every corner of the galaxy. A human battle vessel has entered the war zone. Prepare for anything. Humans fight differently, and they will not be underestimated. The humans had achieved what no one else could. One vessel, one crew, had turned the tide, reshaped the balance of power, and taught the galaxy a lesson it would never forget. And far beyond the war zone, humans across hidden sectors prepared for the next challenge. The galaxy had learned its first lesson about humanity, but the humans had only just begun. The stars stretched endlessly before them. The war zone was quiet for now, but humans knew more battles would come, more fleets would challenge them, more tests awaited, yet humans were ready. They fought differently, they adapted, they survived, and the galaxy had learned, for the first time, to fear, respect, and remember. Humans were unstoppable. The warning echoed one last time. A human battle vessel has entered the war zone.